What's up, guys? It's Kictor, and welcome to another Murazushi stream. How is everybody doing? Did everyone have a good Halloween? Good ween? Good weens in the chat? Apple Dash, I saw your comment. I hope that you can have a good time with your family tonight. I'm really sorry to hear that about your dad, but know that we're here. Stitch and I are sending love to you, and we're thinking about you, and we'll miss you tonight. What is good, ween? I've seen it everywhere this year. Ween? Ween Halloween? Good ween. Pretty good ween. I know, the time for the stream, I did not realize that daylight saving was today until I was in my car and was like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna be late to the stream. And then I looked at my watch and I was like, because it's Apple Watch, so it automatically updated. And I was like, oh, that was today, wasn't it? Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, listen up, y'all. Look at what I got. Boom! I found it early. This is the deluxe hardcover edition of Volume 1 for Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, with art by my favorite Danmei artist, Ruthie. And there are so many little Easter eggs on this that are so gorgeous. We got Wei Wuxian here. We got the Guqin up here, and we got Bishen right here. Isn't that freaking gorgeous? Oh my gosh. Now, not even just that, we also have this gorgeous interior art that I haven't seen shared around a lot. I guess because this book's not officially out yet. But look at that! It's them on the rooftops! This art is absolutely stunning. And the two bunnies, too. And the flowers. And this is just gorgeous. And also, it looks like it's almost like the POV is through a window. And you know, like, the symbolism of Lan Wangji, like, staring at Wei Wuxian out through the window and stuff. And I just thought there's so many little beautiful aspects in this alone that reveal Wang Xin's love story in just one photograph. And not to bring up anything too negative in the chat, but I feel like I did want to acknowledge the fact that Ruthie, the artist for these books, was recently under insane fire by a strange group of fans that did not like the most recent deluxe cover because it had Zhang Cheng on it and it did not have Wang Xin like in a romantic picture, even though book 4 is about like Yanli dying. So that was absolutely nuts. Nobody deserves hate, especially not an artist that is serving the fans. Like, we don't deserve art. Like, the fact that we're getting hardcover deluxe covers at all is insane. And any reaction that is anything other than grateful is bizarre to me. So I made a little tweet just sending all of my love to Ruthie because I think she's just fucking incredible and I think her art is astounding. And one of the comments that was saying that she's not a fan of Wang Xin, and if you've followed Ruthie's account, she's a huge Danmei fan artist as well. She's been drawing Wang Xin for years, but I thought that this little interior art here, there's just so much symbolic, like, there's just so, it symbolizes Wang Xin's relationship so beautifully in the little tiny details, like the bunnies and it looking through the window and it just being such an important moment for them that I was just like, wow, people are crazy. But I know that we are very lucky here that in this chat, in this community, everybody is so positive and so lovely, and I know those of us that have the means to are supporting we're supporting the artist, we're supporting MXTX, we're supporting the fact that we are so grateful to get these at all, right? Now, I also managed to snag this cover early as well, which is also fucking beautiful. I think this is such an epic drawing of moments that we rarely see for TGCF. Like, them on the actual fucking giant statue is so cool. And just like the fiery explosions of like, there's a mecha battle. There's a giant mecha battle, and it is crazy and it is fiery. Like, I thought this is just so epic. Like, this is so fucking cool. And this also has painted edges of Shalian looking cool with Royer, and it's just kind of like decorative flowers on this edge, right? Yeah, same on the top. And the interior of this one is the Calamities, which I thought was so epic. As you know, I am my actual account name is Blackwater Stan 101, so I thought that was cool. Very cool. Oh yeah, and as if these books weren't special enough, there's also the, if you take the dust jacket off, this is for back to the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation 1. Look at that. So we got the Gusu Land Clan insignia, and you actually see the mountains of Gusu and the clouds and everything. And the silver. And then on the back, it says, "Rejoice, Wei Wuxian is dead." And you can actually see them right here. Just the backs of them, which is also feel like very symbolic. Just so cool. And back to the TGCF one. We got Shalian looking cool, holding a fucking sword. Hell yeah. And on the back, we have him fighting White No Face with his scary staff. And it says, "He was just one person, but to Shalian it felt like the entire world was supporting him." So cool. So cool. Okay, I just feel like I had to talk about those right off the bat and share them when they're so cool, but I know I missed a couple messages here, so I will scroll back. Also, just in case anyone could somehow interpret this in a negative way, I also want to say that I love the original covers for Modazushi 2. I think these are absolutely gorgeous, and it's just showcasing different scenes from the novels, right? Like, they're so long. These books are so long, and there are so many good moments. I don't know how you could pick what moment to put on a cover, right? So the fact that we actually got 8 alternative versions is very, very cool. Not 8, I can't count. 10 alternative versions for Modazushi is really, really cool. Okay. My attention is back to the chat. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the Scum Villain extras. Listen, I will definitely be doing a video talking about that, because that's crazy. The Scum Villain Chinese edition just came out, and MXTX had new extras. And she released a bunch. Within the extras is so much new lore, which was hilarious. Okay. Susan has been a member for 17 months and says, "Hi, Kictor. I was working Halloween, but it was a good day. Aside from that, I'm plagued by never-ending homework." Oof. Hey, I'm glad to hear that you had a good day, even though you were working on Halloween. And thank you so much for being a member for 17 months. I really appreciate that. And I hope that your homework goes by quickly. You got this. I'm here supporting you. Meridia has been a member for 14 months. Thank you so much, Meridia. And says, "The Scum Villain extra spoilers on Twitter have been insane. Will you do a special stream to read it? I feel like we all need closer together. Yeah, I would love to. I'll definitely make a video. We could do a stream for it too, actually. If someone does like a full translation of it, I will read it on a stream, but I think I'll also do a video like summing up what people have been translating so far, because it's just so exciting. Millie, thank you for donating, Millie. Says, hi Kictor, are you excited for Arha Volume 10? Yes, Arha is the novel that I am like the most excited for updates right now. I don't know what happens in the story at all. I've luckily not been spoiled, so everything brand new is so exciting. Yeah, lots of stuff has happened. This month is very exciting Danmei month. Xavian, thank you for donating as well, Xavian. How are you doing? Hi, Kictor. Finally posted Boat Leaf yesterday. You posted it? Oh my god. Okay, wait. This is fantastic news. Okay, I can't wait to read that tonight. And I'm working to get chapter 2 up this week. Dude, oh my god, that's fantastic. You have done everything for Beef Leaf Nation. That is fantastic. I'm so excited to read it. Oh my god. And Ellery Bell, dude, speaking of Beef Leaf, speaking of Hushwan, how are you doing, dude? Cheers. May we have year of both being Hushwan obsessed. Oh my god, 2 years. You've been a member for 24 months. Dude, thank you so much. Oh my god, I've loved being able to fangirl fully with my full heart about Hushwan to you. So thank you so much for being a fellow fish fucker. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me that you've been here for that long. Like, seriously. I know that it's rare to find people like you that have been there this long, so thank you so much. And Not Telling has been a member for 2 months and says, I'm reading the Blackwater arc in book 4. So good. Hell yeah. Oh my god. So much Hushwan in the stream already. This is fantastic. I hope that you enjoy the Blackwater arc. It is incredible writing. That's all I will say. Kenzie, is it your birthday, Kenzie? Kenzie says, once I get paid, I'm gonna buy some birthday presents for myself. I need more Danmei. Oh, hell yeah. We got so lucky. Stitch had like a killer discount. And we picked up this, and we also picked up, forgive me if I'm saying the title wrong. There's something wrong with the Chief, I think? I think that's the one we got. Yeah, I'm excited I'm a little bit behind on my editing, because we usually like flip through the pages and stuff, so yeah. And Apple Dash, yes, one of the first things I said in the stream was my condolences for you and your family. I'm here for you. I know what that's like, and I know it's just such an awful thing to go through. I'm so sorry. Just know that I'm here for you, thinking of you. Me and Stitch are sending you our love, and we're sorry that you can't hang out tonight, but I hope that you have a good time with your family. Guy says there's an unedited translation version of the new extra out currently. Oh, okay. Old Danmei fan says, I'm so excited for all of the new flavors of fanfics about to crop up after these new Scum Villain extras. Yes, it's going to spark a huge revival. I think one of the things I saw was that MXTX had like a note in the publication that's like, to all the people that are still talking about Scum Villain now, like, even though it's been out for years, like, for her it's been out so long, right? Like, we only got the translation somewhat recently, but it's been out for a fucking long time for her. She was like, I want to give everybody a big hug, so I thought that was so cute. Apple Dash says, thanks a ton, girl. Love you and Stitch. Have fun with book 4 Chaos. Thank you. Orion's Belt says, in the Scum Villain extra, there's also a meta joke about how it's a bad idea to write an extra years after the store is over. That's so funny. Yeah, because Airplane does that, right? That's really funny. I love that. I love MXTX. Turns out she's not in seclusion. Cultivating to immortality. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow is Kenzie's birthday. Okay, awesome. Kate says, I know you haven't read it yourself, but I doodled the Peerless Boys today. Oh, show me. I want to see. Show me. So exciting. Today, what did I do today? We walked the dogs. I feel like I did something else this morning. Stitch and I have been doing our research with our espresso machine. We're trying to We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to... Now the key is making sure that we know how to froth the milk properly. We've watched a bunch of videos, and we're experimenting. We're working. It's really fun, though. Every single time we make more espresso, it's fun. I also accidentally realized I had 3 cups today without realizing it because I went out to lunch with a friend earlier and also got a latte. So I'm super fucking caffeinated right now, which is great. I will be up all night. It'll be great. But also, I got my flu shot today, so I was feeling a tiny bit sick. I took some medicine, and my arm hurts. My other arm, my elbow arm feels better now. Yeah, so we're good. We're fucking hyper and excited to read and chat and hang out. And Sugar Kiss says MXTX-tober is officially over and now I'm going to rest. Nice, that's awesome. Dude, I saw the art that you posted and that's wicked. The fact that I did not draw once was crazy. Honestly, editing the Fujo Fall video was really taxing. I didn't have a lot of time to draw, or I just didn't, I prioritized other fun things instead of drawing really. But I actually doodled Chuening in my car earlier today, waiting for my phone to charge. And I was pretty proud of how he came out. I would have taken a picture, but my phone was dead. CSZL, thank you so much for your donation. Recap. Yanli publicly defends Wei Wuxian and calls him brother. Jin Sijuan fumbles hard. Wei Wuxian again throws flowers at Lan Wangji. They part on bad terms. Wei Wuxian asks Yanli how to know if you like someone. Wei Wuxian runs into someone unexpected in town. Who did he run into unexpected in town? It was a while ago when we last read. Night Owl says, can I steal some of your energy? Yes, I will. I'm zapping out my energy and forcing it into your brain. Oh yeah, also... Oh, he ran... Is this the part where he's gonna run into Ayuan? Or he hasn't met Ayuan yet? I don't know. I can't remember. Yesterday... There was a not a cafe. Do you guys, I don't know if this is a thing in like other cities, but in Vancouver, there have been these stores called Makers, and they're like an artist consignment store for fan art. It's usually, it's like keychains, candles, postcards, like, I don't know what that kind of stuff is called, But quite a few of them sell fan art, which is amazing. And another store just opened up. It's not Maker's brand, but it's in Vancouver, and they're opening up their anime section, and they're selling a bunch of Genshin merch, and they opened it up with an Alien Stage event, and they had an artist who was incredible, and she drew there's like the art of the Alien Stage boys in aprons, like they're running a cafe, and it was so cute. And it was done so well, and they had a thing where if you spent $50 at the store, and like you could combine your purchases with your friends, they had like a back room that was set up like a photo op thing, and they had some like pro cosplayers there, and you could totally have like a fan service type maid cafe type of moment with them where they would just do whatever pose you wanted, and they were so funny, and they were so much fun. They had Mizzy, Ivan, and Till, and Stitch and I went as Ivan Till. And our other friends, we had the whole like group. We had like Luca, Mizzy, and everybody. It was so much fun. And there were a lot of other cosplayers that showed up to it. And afterwards we went and got ramen together. And then we went to Indigo. And it was just like such a fun day. And I'm gonna like touch on this in the next video I make of just like how exciting it is to like just geek out with books with friends, and like I feel like I'm so lucky I get to do it online with you guys, and when I get to do it in person with my friends too, it's just so much fun. Like we were literally in Indigo like whisper yelling over like how gorgeous this was and how excited we were, and just the feeling of like geeking out with people is it's just so much fun. Miss Rosie, thank you so much for donating. Just out of curiosity, have you gone to your PO? Oh, no, I haven't. Why does that always fucking slip my mind? I definitely have that thing where it's like you walk out the door and what you were planning on doing is completely gone. I'm gonna write that down. I'm writing it down. What's tomorrow? Monday? Okay, I'm putting it in my calendar to go to the PO box. I did so many errands today and I didn't go there. Okay. P.O. Box. Okay, it's in the calendar. I will go tomorrow. Dude, I am so excited. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to open your gift. Did you see they have a TGCF pop-up cafe in New York? I did see that. I wish that I could go to that. I think that would be so much fun. I know they have them in like Japan, so having one in North America is just like, like bring it to Vancouver. Oh my god. Crimson Queen, thank you for gifting a membership. How are you doing? And B-Boop, dude, thank you so much. Oh my god, that's so generous of you, B-Boop. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. That's so, so kind of you. Thank you. Still catching up on the past stream, so I won't stay long, but wish you all a good stream, and hopefully I can catch up soon. See you guys later. Oh, bye, B-Boop. Oh my god, thank you so much for donating. You're just so kind. I have no words for you other than just thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you. And everybody here, but B-Boop has just spoiled me beyond measure, so thank you so much, B-Boop. You're so, so nice. Thank you so much. Spazzy says, kicked her in chat. Walk back through the door and say the last thing you remember saying. It's gone. It's gone. Kate says, how do you feel about David's tea? Love David's tea. Yeah, I feel like there's a David's tea that's kind of at like a special fun little mall that we go to every now and then, and going in there is always so exciting. Leo says, can I have some good vibes? I haven't been feeling good lately, and I'm really, really burnt out, and my anxiety has been bad. Oh my god, Leo, I wish I could just give you a big hug. Just shake the anxiety out of you. I'm so sorry to hear that you've been feeling bad, but it will get better, and I'm sending you all the good vibes. Leo, you are awesome. You are so, so much fun. You are so funny, and everything is good. I hope that your anxiety goes away, but I'm here to distract you. I'm here to hopefully make you feel a little bit better if possible, but everything's gonna be okay. Sending you the good vibes. Crimson Queen says, if you and Stitch ever have kids or adopt another fur baby, y'all will have to name it B-Boop. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, our little puppies are they were so cute this morning. They're so, so cute. They're so good. Meridia says, not gonna lie, you jump scared me with the beef leaf audio drama in the latest TikTok video. I wasn't expecting it. It was a pretty dark joke. It was a pretty dark joke, and I considered cutting it out, but I also thought it was really funny. I think I'm a little bit that's the thing is, like, I was like, we're pretty desensitized to it, right? And then we heard just how bad the screams were, and then it was almost like to the point where it's like it's not funny that it ended up being so funny. So I had to keep it in there. I saw Kenzie commented enjoying my my rendition of the songs because of the copywritten songs. I've been like singing them instead. It's a great way because sometimes the vibe just will not get across unless it's the specific song, right? And I've been utilizing as much copyright free music as I can, but sometimes I just gotta sing the song. Kicked her re-traumatizing the chat, right? Are you planning on going to the new JJK movie? Oh, yeah, I am. Listen, let me tell you. Look at what Stitch got me. I have been wanting these so badly. Are they not the cutest little freaking guys? Ah! These are my, like, absolute favorite little guys, and Stitch surprised me with them. I love them so much. They are so perfect to me. Did you ever get the Gojo doll? No. The fucking cat Labubu one evades me. Kate says, I like that you dedicated the Mpreg moment to me. No idea why Mpreg made you think of me, though. Yeah, no idea. No idea, Kate. I'm glad that you saw it. Xavian said, we're bringing back Lemon in BL, but it's not what everyone expects. That's so funny. Oh my god, missed opportunity. Missed opportunity there. Oh, Emmy! Oh my god, thank you so much, Emmy, for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Has Stitch started reading the final version of Peerless yet? Bald Feng Xiao sent me. Right? I don't know. What is she currently reading? She's currently reading something. There's a couple on the docket right now. We have a couple Danmei Book Club videos to post, actually. So, very exciting. Lemon, don't like, don't read. Lemon, don't like, don't listen to. Oh, gosh. All right. Shall we jump into some reading? Emmy, thank you so much for donating, Emmy. I just got back from traveling and happy to be here. Oh, welcome back. I hope you had some good travels. Kate says, my friend just read Joyful Reunion and is obsessed. Ooh, no way. The volume 3 art looks so sexy. The guy with the mask? Who is that man? Someone who knows, please tell me who that man is. Also Rufy's art, right? So good. So good. Like, what are we doing here again? Oh yeah, we're reading. Oh yeah. Silent Hill. There was a lot of TGCF Silent Hill art on Halloween, which was amazing. And I was like, oh my god, I know. I get that reference. Caro Ice, did you follow the saga of Karina from Drawfee becoming the owner of a 6-foot 3D printed statue of Gojo? I saw them doing the 3D printed Gojo, but I didn't see who got it. Karina, like the cosplayer? That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Kate says, I'm gonna guess the guy in the mask is probably problematic if you're into him. Yeah, anybody know about Silent Hill F? Is the guy in the fox mask a good guy or a bad guy? Okay, we got volume 4. Look at the cover. He's playing with Lamwenji's headband pretty confidently here. And there's a little white bunny and a little black bunny. And then, look at the inside here. A happy family. A happy family having dinner together with the little toys. Ugh. Oh, Sugar Kiss says, depends on the playthrough. Oh. Interesting. Wizard of Moss says, are you saying Pyramid Head was a good guy or not problematic? Is he even a real guy? I mean, in the way that he was helping James find the truth of his own true horrible crimes, you could say he was a good guy. Pyramid Head is just one of the girls. Oh gosh. Are you saying James was a good guy? No, James was a bad guy. Fuck James. He's real to James. Yeah. It's so funny because it's like all of it is like in James's head. Right? So it's like oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's like it's too much of a metaphor. I want to make a video talking about my thoughts on Silent Hill, which would be fun, I think. Okay. Are we ready to jump into this? Wizard of Moss, I love you. Chapter 16, The Unruly, Part 1. At Golden Carp Tower, Lan Qichen and Lam Wenji strolled side by side through the sea of sparks amid snow. I love how MXCS does not let us forget that these sparks amid snow flowers are fucking important. It's like, you're picturing Golden Carp Tower? Do not picture carps. Picture sparks amid snow. So much so that I'm like, maybe it should have been called Sparks Amid Snow Tower. Okay? I don't see a single fish. Lan Jichen's hand idly brushed one of the snow-white flowers, and his touch was so gentle that not a single drop of dew fell from its blooming petals. Stop. Do you know how gentle a touch that has to be? That's ridiculous! He's so gentle. He's so gentle that not even the dew falls from the flowers. Also, speaking of symbols, you know who is the main Sparks Amid Snow guy? Boom. Right there. Stroking that sparks amid snow so gently, no dew drops from it. This is how much he loves Jing Guanyao. Come on! Oh my god. Oh my god. This poor fucking guy. Oh, also, look at this. Didn't even see that. Jung Chung being angsty in the back with baby Jinling. I like how Jin Sijuan did not make this cover. He left no dewdrops and no crumbs. Oh, goodness me. Okay. Wanji, he said, do you have something on your mind? Why do you look so troubled? Though he said Lamonji looked troubled, his current expression was no different from normal to the untrained eye. Man, he's got that Wanji vision. Lamonji furrowed his brow and shook his head. It was a while before he replied quietly. Shangjiang, I want to bring someone back to the cloud recesses. Oh, man. Lan Qichen was astonished. Bring someone back to the cloud recesses? Lamonji nodded. His thoughts clearly weighed heavily on him. After a brief pause, he said, bring him back and hide him away. Man, he's coming out to his brother here. This is crazy. Lan Qichen like, girl, get in line. Lan Qichen's eyes widened. Ever since their mother's passing, his little brother had become progressively more withdrawn. Confined to his room of his own volition, he spent his days reading, meditating, writing, playing the guqin, or cultivating, and would only emerge when summoned for night hunts. He disliked conversation as a rule, and no one but Lan Qichen could coax more than a few sentences from him. Oh. This was the first time he'd heard something like this come out of Lamonji's mouth. Hide him away, Lan Qichen pressed. Lamonji wrinkled his brow, but he is unwilling. At the moment, they heard a commotion ahead. Do you think you're allowed to wander around here? Someone clicked their tongue. Who gave you permission? My apologies, a young voice replied. Lan Qichen and Lamonji both looked up at the sound of that voice and saw two figures standing next to the spirit wall. The one hollering was Jin Sijun, who looked surrounded by an entourage of servants and cultivators. The one being hollered at was a young man dressed in white. When the white-clad young man saw the two Lan brothers, his face went pale, and whatever he was going to say was lost. Jin Sijun looked at him with contempt. With his usual impeccable timing, Jin Guangyao made a sudden appearance to defuse the situation. Golden Carp's tower's paths are intricate. It can't be helped that Su Gongzi lost his way. Fuck this guy. I hate Susha. He's so embarrassing. This entire novel, he's so embarrassing. You know how it's all like the scapegoat and society needs someone to blame for things and everyone blames Wei Wuxian? Blame Susha, honestly. He has fucked up and been embarrassing in every scenario he's been in. CSCL brought up in the chat the fact that I want to bring someone back to Gusu is happening at the same time Wei Wuxian is like, how do you know if you really like someone? Oh, that is good. That is good. I didn't realize that. And Leo says, I started reading the fic you were talking about a while ago, Meng Yao versus the Board of Homeowners Association, and it's so funny. I'm loving it. I think it's my new favorite series of fics. Is it not the best thing ever? It is so good. It is so good. It's modern Xiao, Jing Guanyao literally against the Homeowner Society. It's like versing the strata of his and Lan Qichen's like complex because they cut down Lan Qichen's tomato garden. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so Jin Guanyao is here defending Susha. He gestured to the white-clad youth. Why don't you come with me? Jin Sijun snorted when he saw Jin Guanyao pop up. He sidestepped around them and left. The white-clad youth was taken aback. You remember me? Of course, Jin Guanyao smiled. Why would I not? Haven't we met before? And what splendid sword techniques Su Minshan Gongse displayed back then. Ever since the siege hunt at Mount Baifeng, I've been fretting over what a shame it would be if a budding talent like yourself never made it to our clan. Oh my god, this fucking master manipulator, man. But here you are. I'm beside myself with joy. Please, won't you come this way? He's like, I spotted a loser that I could prey on. Countless cultivators who specialized in the sword threw in their lots with the Jin clan of Lanling. Susha hadn't thought many here would know his name, but not only did Jin Guanyao remember him perfectly, despite having only a single rushed encounter with him, he showered him with praise. Susha was greatly relieved. He stopped paying attention to the Lan brothers and quickly left with Jin Guanyao, as if afraid they'd approach to mock or criticize him. As they should! Lan Qiquan's like, no man, he's a fucking loser! Sorry, Lan Qiquan's the gentle one touching the flowers. After witnessing this scene, Lan Qiquan and Lan Wangji took their seats in Pageantry Hall. As a banquet was not a suitable venue to continue their previous conversation, they put that topic aside, and Lan Wangji resumed his usual frosty demeanor. The Lan clan of Gusu was known far and wide for their distaste of alcohol, so there were no wine cups set on their tables, only tea and several smaller dishes of refreshments. All thanks to Jin Guanyao's thoughtful planning. No one approached them to raise a toast either. All was peaceful in their vicinity. But the peace didn't last long. A man dressed in sparks amid snow uniform walked over with a wine cup in each hand and bellowed salutations at them. Sect Leader Lan, Hangguan Jun, I raise a toast to you both. It was Jin Sizhen, who had been stumbling around the hall raising toasts to all present. Jin Guanyao, who knew that Lan Qichen and Lan Wangji did not care for alcohol, hurried over. Sizhen, Zewujun and Hangguanjun are both from the Cloud Recesses. There are 3,000 precepts carved into their wall of discipline, as you know. Rather than force them to drink, why not? Jin Sizhen greatly disapproved of Jin Guanyao. He considered the circumstance of his birth vulgar and thought it shameful they belonged to the same clan. And so he cut him off before he could finish speaking. Our Jin clan and the Lan clan are like one family. We're all on the same side, and if my Lan brothers won't drink with me, it means they look down on me. Several of his admirers applauded. Such forthrightness! Now that's how a hero should act. Jin Guanyao maintained his smile without flinching, but gave a soundless sigh. Oh my god. Just... my party is going so swimmingly. Jin Guanyao maintained his smile without flinching, but gave a soundless sigh and rubbed his temples. Lan Qichen rose to his feet to decline the toast, but Jin Sizhen was unrelenting. Don't say anything, Sect Leader Lan. Our families aren't strangers, so don't try and placate me the same way you would an outsider. Give it to me straight. Are you gonna drink or not? Jin Guanyao's smiling lips twitched, almost to the point of convulsion. He shot an apologetic look at Lan Qichen. Sect Leader Lan still needs to return home on his sword after this. It's like, you're gonna make the poor man drive home drunk? That's so funny. I feel like that's such like that's gotta be like a modern joke. Like, don't make him drive home drunk. That's crazy. He's gonna be wasted on his sword. Oh my god. Drinking might affect him. Jin Sizhen completely disregarded this explanation. What, is he gonna drop after a few cups? I can drink 8 huge bowls and still soar around on my sword. Oh, so drinking and driving is cool, apparently. Whoops and cheers sounded from all around. Lan Wangji remained seated, glaring frigidly at the cup of liquor Jin Sizhen had forced in front of him. He appeared to be on the verge of speaking when a hand plucked away the proffered wine cup. Lan Wangji was briefly startled. Then he looked up, and his knitted brows suddenly relaxed. The first thing he saw was a black robe. A flute with a tassel as red as blood was tucked into the waistband, standing with one hand behind his back. The newcomer poured the wine down his throat and showed the empty cup to Jin Sizhen. I drank it on his behalf. Are you happy now? Wei Wuxian appearing and Lan Wangji relaxing. Despite them parting on bad terms, he went from being startled and then his brows relaxed. Like, oh, my alcoholic boyfriend is here to save me out of this socially awkward moment. Rejoice, we can drive home safely. His eyes seemed to smile on his handsome face, and his tone was lilting, even as he stood with straight-backed confidence. Wei Gongsu, Lan Qichen said in surprise. When did he get here? Someone exclaimed in a hushed whisper. Wei Wuxian put down the wine cup and tugged his collar back into place. Just now. Just now, but no one had announced his arrival, nor greeted him. How had he gotten inside Pageantry Hall so stealthily, without anyone noticing? The crowd shuddered violently despite themselves. But Jing Guanyao recovered quickly and remained as enthusiastic as ever, Jing Guanyao being like, my party! I did not know Wei Gongsu had arrived at Golden Carp Tower. I apologize for the lack of welcome. Do you require a seat? Oh yes, might you have an invitation? the kindest way of being like, who invited you? Hmm? Oh, it seems there's no seat for you. Is that because perhaps you were not invited? Oh. Wei Wuxian didn't bother with the pleasantries, but cut straight to the point. No need, and I don't. He pointed at Jin Sijin. Jin Gongsu, might I have a word? If you've got something to say to me, come back after my family's banquet is over, Jin Sijin said. It was obvious to Wei Wuxian that he had no intention of actually talking to him. How long will I have to wait? Maybe 6 or 8 hours, or maybe 10 or 12. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow. I'm afraid I can't wait that long. You're gonna have to, whether you like it or not, Jin Sijin said haughtily. And what might Wei Gongsu want Season 4? Jing Guanyao asked, And what might Wei Gongsu want Season 4? Asked Jing Guanyao. Is it very urgent? Incredibly so, Wei Wuxian said. Not a minute is to be lost. Jin Sijin looked to Lan Qichen and raised the other cup in his hand. Sect Leader Lan, come. You haven't drunk yours yet. Seeing him purposefully stalling, a shadow passed over Wei Wuxian's face. He narrowed his eyes and smirked. Fine, then I'll ask you about it right here. Jin Gongsu, do you know someone named Wen Ning? Wen Ning? Jin Sijin repeated the name. No. I'm sure you do, Wei Wuxian said. Last month, you were night hunting in the Gangquan area. While chasing an 8-winged bat, you entered the settlement of the Wen clan's surviving members. Or rather, the area where they're being detained. You captured a group of Wen sect disciples. He was their leader. Oh, this is so fucking messy and so sad. This is so fucked up. And the fact that he's bringing this up at the banquet. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. Fuck. This is bad. But I love that he's not afraid to bring this up, you know? After the Sunshot campaign, the Wen clan of Qishan had been completely destroyed. The territory they'd expanded into had been divided among the rest of the clans, and Gangquan was presently under the banner of the Jin clan of Lanling. The Wen clan now occupied less than 1,000th of the land they'd once held. They had been driven to a corner of Qishan, and there they cowered, hanging on by a thread. If I don't remember, I don't remember, Jin Sijin said. I don't have enough free time to waste on remembering the name of some Wen dog. Fine, I don't mind going into the details, Wei Wuxian said. Some Wen disciples were out investigating a disturbance when they ran into the Bat King you were unable to catch. You forced them to wear spirit attraction flags and serve as bait. They were scared to obey, and one of them came forward to try and reason with you. That's the Wen Ning I'm talking about. He stutters when he speaks. While everyone was dilly-dallying around, the Bat King escaped. You beat the Wen cultivators severely and then took them away by force. Their current whereabouts are unknown. They have yet to return. Need I say more? I just really don't know who to ask besides you, you know? Wei Wuxian, what are you getting at? Why are you asking me about them? Jin Sijin demanded. You're not thinking of sticking up for those Wen dogs, are you? Wei Wuxian smiled innocently. What do you care if I want to stick up for them or stick their heads on pikes? Hand them over. The smile on his face abruptly vanished, and he spoke the last phrase, and his voice grew cold. He had obviously lost his patience. Many within Pageantry Hall shivered. Jin Sijin felt chills as well, but his fury immediately resurged. Wei Wuxian, what arrogance! He shouted. Did the Jin clan of Lanling invite you today? To think you dare stand here and act so impudently? Do you really think you're invincible? That no one would dare incur your wrath? You want to topple the heavens? Wei Wuxian laughed. You're comparing yourself to the heavens? Pardon my bluntness, but that's a pretty swollen head you got there. While Jin Sijin did indeed privately consider the Jin clan of Lanling the new authority of the cultivation world, he knew he had misstepped by saying it aloud. His cheeks reddened, but just as he was about to rebuke Wei Wuxian for all to hear, Jin Guangshan spoke up from the head seat. Gentlemen, why take such offense over such trifles? He chuckled amiably. But Wei Gongse, allow me to make a fair point. It is truly not appropriate for you to intrude on the Jin clan's private banquet. It was impossible that Jin Guangshan did not care about what had transpired at the siege of It was impossible that Jin Guangshan did not care about what had transpired at the siege hunt on Mount Baifeng. That was why he had simply smiled and watched Jin Sijin mock Wei Wuxian without stopping him, only stepping in when Jin Sijin was losing the upper hand. Wei Wuxian bowed his head. Sect Leader Jin, causing a disturbance at your private banquet was not my intention. I apologize for the offense. However, the people Jin Gongse abducted are nowhere to be found. We can't even confirm whether they're alive or dead. If we delay any further, it will be too late to save them. I owe my life to one of them, so I cannot stand by and do nothing. I do not expect magnanimity. I will simply ask for forgiveness. What matter could be so important that it cannot be set aside for the moment? Jin Guangshan asked. Come, have a seat. We can chat. Jing Guanyao had already silently gotten a seat ready for him. Oh my god! It has like a name tag and everything. That's very kind of Sect Leader Jin, but I must decline, Wei Wuxian replied. This matter cannot be prolonged. Please resolve it as soon as possible. It cannot be rushed, Jin Guangshan said. If we must continue to squabble, I will note that we also have a number of unresolved issues that cannot wait. Since you've come calling, let's take this chance to sort everything out. What do you think? Wei Wuxian raised his brows. What unresolved issues? Wei Gongse, we've mentioned this to you a few times. You've not forgotten, have you? Jing Guangshan asked. During the Sunshot campaign, you used a certain device. Oh, you did mention that thing earlier. The Yin Tiger Tally. What of it? Wei Wuxian asked. Rumor has it that you forged the Yin Tiger Tally with the spirit of an iron sword you found inside the cave of the Shanwu of Slaughter, Jing Guangshan said. You used the device on the battlefield. It possessed terrible power, and even affected some of our own cultivator peers. Wei Wuxian cut him off. Get to the point. That is the point, Jing Guangshan said. That battle didn't just result in Wen clan casualties, but also casualties on our own side. I am of the opinion that the spiritual weapon in question is demonstrably difficult to control, and so for a single person to maintain sole ownership of it, I'm afraid... He hadn't finished when Wei Wuxian started laughing. When he was done with his fit of laughter, he said, Sect Leader Jin, please allow me to ask you one question. With the Wen clan of Qishan gone, do you think that the Jin clan of Lanling should take their place? Only crickets could be heard within Pageantry Hall. Every spiritual device has to be handed over to you. Everyone has to take orders from you. The way the Jin clan of Lanling is acting, one might also think the Wens were still in power, Wei Wuxian added. Burn. Orion's belt. Thank you for your donation. Sure, we're using people as live bait, but you're rude, which is worse. At his words, a sliver of rage born of shame flashed across Jing Guangshan's square face. After the Sunshot campaign, veiled criticism of Wei Wuxian and his demonic cultivation had begun to surface within the prominent clans. Bringing up the Yin Tiger Tally was his attempt to threaten Wei Wuxian and remind him that they held certain things over his head. To remind him that everyone was watching, and that he should not be so arrogant, nor consider scorning the command of the Jin clan. Who would have thought Wei Wuxian would still speak so bluntly and brutally to him? Jing Guangshan did secretly consider himself the successor to the Wen clan's power. But no one had ever dared accuse him of it so openly, and to mock the idea as an added insult. To his right, a guest cultivator barked, Wei Wuxian, mind your tongue! Am I mistaken? Wei Wuxian asked. Forcing living people to serve as bait, beating them at any sign of disobedience. How is that different from the behavior of the Wen clan of Qishan? Another guest cultivator stood up. Of course it's different. The Wen dogs committed all manner of evil deeds. They deserve to fall in such disgrace. All we're doing is retaliating in kind, an eye for an eye, giving them a taste of their own medicine. Where's the fault in that? Bite the ones that bit you, Wei Wuxian said. But Wen Ning's branch of the family was never stained with innocent blood. Are you just punishing them by association? Wei Gongzi, you say that, but are their hands really clean? Someone reasoned. That's only one side of the story, based on your word alone. Where's the proof? Isn't your claim that they killed innocents also a one-sided story? Wei Wuxian countered. Shouldn't you show proof first? Why are you asking me? The one who had spoken shook his head back and forth, clearly thinking Wei Wuxian was being unreasonable. Another person in attendance sneered. When the Wen clan slaughtered our people, they were 1,000 times crueler. They didn't treat us justly then, so why should we consider justice now? Wei Wuxian laughed. Oh, I see. Because the Wen dogs committed so many evil deeds, everyone with the surname Wen can be killed without exception. Do I understand you right? Many renegade clans from Qishan surrendered and joined the alliance. They've since found support with the Jin clan of Lanling. If I'm not mistaken, I see a few guests at this very banquet who used to be the family heads of clans affiliated with the Wen clan. The faces of the family heads in question instantly fell. It seems that our anger can be vented at will on anyone surnamed Wen, regardless of their innocence. Does that mean it's okay if I go kill them all right now? Wei Wuxian continued. As he spoke, he pressed his hands to Chen Qing, which was tucked into his waistband. In that instant, everyone at the banquet was struck by the memory of that dark day. It was as if they had returned to the battlefield where bodies piled as high as mountains and blood flowed as deep as the sea. They all shot to their feet. Wei Ying! Lan Wangji exclaimed darkly. Jing Guanyao was standing closest to Wei Wuxian, but his expression didn't change. Wow. Wei Gongzi, please don't do anything rash, he beseeched, his tone still mild. We can talk things through in a civil manner. I would like to see Jing Guanyao debate Hua Cheng. Because Hua Cheng is, like, the best debater in the world. But Jing Guanyao's, like, ability to manipulate and be civil and calm might be fun for Hua Cheng to deal with. Yeah, Jing Guanyao is immune to rage bait. I think Hua Cheng would also find Jing Guanyao funny. Jing Guanshan had risen to his feet as well, his face etched with shock, rage, fear, and hate. Wei Wuxian, you're just running riot because sect leader Zheng isn't here. Do you think I wouldn't run riot even if he was here? Wei Wuxian shot back. If I want to kill anyone, who can stop me? Who dares to stop me? Wei Ying, Lan Wangji said. He stated each word clearly. Lower Chen Qing. This isn't you. This isn't you, baby. Wei Wuxian shot him a look and saw his own half-savage reflection in those eyes as light as tinted glass. He abruptly twisted his gaze away and shouted, Jin Sijin! Sijin! Jin Guanshan hurriedly called out as well. Enough with this crap, Wei Wuxian said. I'm sure everyone here knows my patience is limited. I've wasted enough time on you. Where are they? I'm going to count to 3. 1... Jin Sijin wanted to grit his teeth and tough this out, but his blood ran cold at the sight of Jing Guanshan's expression. 2? Wei Wuxian continued. Fine, fine, Jin Sijin yelled. It's only some Wen dogs. If you want to make them your lackeys, take them. I don't feel like dealing with you today. Go look for them at Chongqi Path. Wei Wuxian snorted. Well now, that wasn't so hard, was it? He had come as swiftly as the wind, and now he left in the same manner. It's crazy how he walked in there, got so disrespected, and then literally, like, I saw someone in the chat bring up a nuke, like, holds up the nuke, and is like, you gonna respect me now? You gonna fucking respect me now? Ugh. The guest's gloom finally dispersed, and as soon as he disappeared, those who had sprung to their feet returned to their seats within the banquet hall. All were drenched in cold sweat. Meanwhile, Jingguan Shan sat in the head seat, still in a stupor. Moments later, he suddenly flew into a rage and toppled the small table in front of him with a kick. It rolled down the steps, scattering the gold and silver flatware. Noticing that he'd lost his composure, Jin Guanyao tried to smooth over the situation. Fa! Before he could finish, Jin Guanshan left the hall in a furious whirl of tossed sleeves. Jin Sijin felt he had lost face by yielding to Wei Wuxian. Consumed by fury and hate, he moved to leave the banquet as well. Shizhen! Jin Guanyao hurriedly called after him. Lost in the throes of anger, Jin Sijin hurled aside the cup of wine he had yet to hand over. It hit Jin Guanyao squarely in his chest, and spilled liquor blossomed over the brilliant sparks amid snow embroidered on his snow-white robe. Everyone at the banquet was too distracted by the chaos to pay any mind to his embarrassment, and this act of great rudeness went ignored by most. Lan Qichen was the only exception. "Sandy!" he exclaimed. It's fine, Jin Guanyao said quickly. "Stay seated, Arga." It was inappropriate for Lan Qichen to comment on Jin Sijin's behavior, so all he could do was hand Jin Guanyao a white handkerchief. "Why don't you go change clothes?" Jin Guanyao took the handkerchief and wiped himself down with a wry smile. "But I can't leave." He was the only one at the venue who could clean up this mess, so how could he possibly pull himself away? He placated the crowd while sighing, as if his was a sorry plight. Poor guy. Oh, the fact that Lan Qichen was so upset for him being disgraced and nobody else gave a shit, and Jin Guanyao just being like, "This is the usual, I just gotta swallow it, it's fine." I like seeing that. I just love that you really see how much Lan Qichen cared for him, you know? Because this is in the past, and we're seeing in the future now how Lan Qichen is struggling so hard with the thought of thinking Jin Guanyao could have done something bad when he clearly cared for him so deeply and felt an insane amount of, you know, empathy for him. Also, you guys like my new shirt? Isn't he so cute? Little Shiba. Cinderella Jiggy, literally. Oh my god. Yeah, absolutely, actually. Wei Gong's temperament has changed drastically, Lan Qichen mused. Upon hearing this, a trace of pain flashed in Lan Wangji's light eyes and across his tightly furrowed brow. After descending Golden Carp Tower, Wei Wuxian walked through the city of Lanling, twisting and turning down its many roads. I love that Lan Wangji is so stoic, but the one thing that he truly, truly cares about is Wei Wuxian, and he's willing to, you know, publicly disgrace himself in his honor, even at this point, you know, like to speak out and reveal that he's on Wei Wuxian's side, even though they parted on bad terms and everything like that. He was the one that was like telling Wei Wuxian to calm down, like the only one actually caring about Wei Wuxian in this moment. Ugh. He turned several street corners before entering a small alleyway. "Found them, let's go," he said. Wen Qing had been waiting for a long time in the alley, so nervous she was unable to sit or stand still. She charged out the moment she heard him, but in her weakened state, the sudden motion made her dizzy and she tripped. "No, Wen Qing!" Wei Wuxian caught her with a single hand. "Do you want me to find you a place to rest?" he suggested. "I can go alone. I'm more than enough. I'll definitely bring Wen Ning back." Wen Qing clutched at him. No, I have to go. I must go." After Wen Ning had gone missing, she'd run practically non-stop all the way from Qishan to Yunmeng on her own two legs. She hadn't slept for days, and when she found Wei Wuxian, she'd urged and begged and pleaded like she'd gone mad. I love that, because we saw how stoic she was previously, you know? She was very serious, very no-nonsense, and now the fact that her brother's missing and we get to see how much she really, really, really loves him and misses him is like, oh, it's so heartbreaking. She hadn't slept for days, and when she found Wei Wuxian, she urged and begged and pleaded like she'd gone mad. Right now, she barely looked human. Her lips were too pale and her eyes opened too wide. Seeing that she was on the verge of collapse, but knowing they didn't have time for her to stop and eat, Wei Wuxian brought her some doughy white steamed buns from a street vendor. Wen Qing knew she was almost at her limit and that she needed food. She tore into the buns with her teeth, her hair a disheveled mess and her eyes bloodshot. Her appearance reminded Wei Wuxian of himself back when he and Zheng Cheng were on the run. Everything will be all right, he vowed again. I'll definitely bring Wen Ning back. Wen Qing sobbed as she ate. I knew I shouldn't have left, but I had no choice. They transferred me to a different city by force. By the time I got back, Wen Ning was gone, and so was everyone else. I just knew he couldn't handle things alone. He can, Wei Wuxian assured. But he can't, Wen Qing broke down. Ning has always been skittish, ever since he was young. He's timid and scared of getting into trouble. He didn't dare recruit any subordinates who had even the slightest temper. They were all yes men, just like him. If he ever ran into trouble without me, he wouldn't know what to do. When Wei Wuxian had bid her farewell, carrying Zheng Cheng on his back, Wen Qing had told him this. No matter how this war ends, we do not owe each other anything from now on. Our debts are cleared. Her haughtiness was clear as day in his memory, but last night she had clutched his hand in a death grip and almost dropped to her knees as she pleaded. Wei Wuxian, Wei Wuxian, Wei Gongse, please help me. I have no one else to turn to. You have to help me save Ning. I really have no one else. I can only come to you. All that pride, all gone. Ugh. Chongqi Path was an old road running through a valley between the mountains. According to legend, it was the place where the founder of the Wen clan of Qishan, Wen Mao, had gained fame in the span of a single battle. Oh, I feel so bad for Wen Ning. Seeing her care for her brother so much. Ugh. Centuries ago, Wen Mao had been locked in a fierce battle with a terrible monster for 81 days before he finally slew it. This creature was called the Chongqi, a chaotic and ancient beast of great evil. It punished the righteous, praised the wicked, and took great pleasure in eating those who were just and loyal. It was considered the divine beast of all evildoers. Of course, there was no way to judge the accuracy of the legend to determine if it was simply a boastful exaggeration passed around by the descendants of the Wen clan of Qishan. Over the passage of centuries, the valley had transformed from a perilous yet important passageway into a tourist attraction, a place where past accomplishments were praised and remembered. After the Sunshot campaign, the clans had divided up the land that belonged to the Wen clan of Qishan, and Chongqi Path had been stuffed into the pockets of the Jin clan of Lanling. The vast mountain bluffs that towered over the path on either side had originally been decorated with carvings depicting the life of the great ancestor Wen Mao. Wow, their own Mount Rushmore. But of course, once the Jin clan of Lanling took over, the glorious past tales of the Wen clan could not be allowed to remain. They set out to reconstruct the place, meaning to erase all the reliefs from both cliffs, cleaning them away entirely to make room for new carvings. And above all, they had to come up with a new name that would immortalize the extraordinary bravery of the Jin clan. The project required a significant amount of labor, but they had a most suitable supply of workers, the captive survivors of the Wen clan, who had been reduced to a pack of stray dogs after the conclusion of the Sunshot campaign. It was night by the time they arrived at Chongqi Path. Thin threads of cold rain fell from the darkened sky. Wen Qing hobbled closely behind Wei Wuxian, shivering as though racked by chills that emanated from within. From time to time, Wei Wuxian had to help her along in order to keep them moving. A row of makeshift shacks lined the front of the valley, serving as housing for the captives to rest at night. In the distance, Wei Wuxian and Wen Qing saw a hunchbacked figure trudging along, carrying a large flag and being steadily battered by the pouring rain. As they approached, they saw the flag bearer was a tottering old granny carrying a toddler. The child was tied to the old woman's back, very focused on chewing his finger. The two of them, old and young, were walking back and forth on the road. The old woman was having a very hard time carrying the flag and had to pause and set it down every 2 steps. Wen Qing's eyes reddened at the sight. "Granny, it's me!" she cried. The old woman probably had poor eyesight and was equally hard of hearing. She couldn't see or hear exactly who they were, but could only tell that someone was approaching and yelling something. Stricken with fear, she quickly hauled the flag up again, as if terrified she would be discovered and horribly reprimanded. Wen Ning ran over and snatched the flag from her. "What is this? What are you doing?" The huge flag was emblazoned with an enormous Wen clan insignia, but a giant blood-red X had been painted over it. The flag itself had also been deliberately shredded. Ever since the conclusion of the Sunshot campaign, countless people had been labeled stray Wen dogs. The way in which they were tormented by the masses were also countless, all carried out under the righteous excuse of encouraging self-reflection. Wei Wuxian knew this old woman was too frail to be forced into manual labor like the rest, so the overseers had cooked up this plan to humiliate her, forcing her to walk around all day with a tattered Wen flag raised high. At first, the old woman shrank back. When she finally recognized the person before her, her jaw dropped. "Granny, where's Anning?" Wen Ning asked. "Where is Sishu and the others? Where's Anning?" The old woman glanced at her, at Wei Wuxian, who stood behind Wen Ning. She didn't dare answer aloud, but only stared in the direction of the valley. Abandoning all care for anything else, Wen Ning dashed off in that direction. Torches lined both sides of the spacious valley, and the flames slightly flickered under the drizzling rain. But their fire still blazed bright, illuminating the whole of the mountain path, including the hundreds of figures carrying the heavy loads. The faces of the captives were sickly pale, and their steps were sluggish. They were not permitted to employ any spiritual power, or outside help in their toils. This was not only a safeguard against retaliation, but also another form of punishment. Over a dozen overseers from the Jin clan of Lanling wandered through the crowd on horseback, berating the workers from beneath their black umbrellas. Wen Ning charged out into the rain-soaked valley. Her wild eyes swept over each despondent and tired face. One of the overseers noticed her and barked a question at her with one hand raised. "Where'd you come from? Who let you trespass in here?" "I'm looking for someone. Please, I'm looking for someone," Wen Ning pleaded anxiously. The overseer rode over on horseback, pulling something from his waistband and waving it in the air. "I don't care if you are. Get out of here. If you don't..." When he saw the man in black robes, who was behind the young woman, he stopped abruptly, suddenly tongue-tied. The young man had a bright and handsome face, but his eyes were cold, and his stare made the overseer shudder unconsciously. The overseer quickly realized the young man wasn't staring at him, but rather at the iron branding rod he was waving. The overseer's iron branding rods were exactly the same as the ones once wielded by the Wen clan servants. Exactly the same, except the design of the brand had been changed from a sun to a peony. Those fucking bastards! If that's not enough proof, you know, Wei Wuxian was like, you guys are starting to sound a little bit like the fucking Wen clan. And now you even have the fucking branding irons. This is such an important moment, man. Especially because we've had two very intense scenes with the branding iron. Like, we are very aware the branding iron is very important. That's fucked. What a perfect, like, physical metaphor of the Jin clan being evil. Those motherfuckers! Yeah, and Wei Wuxian being one that was branded, seeing that fucking branding iron, oh my god, he's gonna go crazy! He's gonna go crazy! A chilling glint flashed in Wei Wuxian's eyes when he noticed. Quite a few of the overseers recognized his face, and despite themselves, silently pulled their horses back and began whispering to each other. No one dared to stop Wen Ning as she shouted and searched the crowd. "Anning! Anning!" Her cries were sad and shrill and went unanswered. She searched the entire valley but found no trace of her younger brother. If Wen Ning truly had been present, he would have long since hurried to her side. The overseers quietly dismounted and peered hard at Wei Wuxian, seeming hesitant about whether to greet him. Wen Ning tackled them with questions. Where are the Wen cultivators that were brought in a few days ago? The men exchanged dismayed looks and dawdled in their answers. One of the overseers, who seemed quite good-natured, responded amiably. Every captive here is a Wen cultivator. New ones are sent over every day. He's my little brother. Jin Sijin brought him here, Wen Qing frantically explained. He's about this tall. He doesn't really talk, and when he does, he stutters. Come now, miss, look around, said the good-natured overseer. There's so many people here. How could we possibly remember whether any of them stutter? In her distress, Wen Qing could not help but stamp her foot. I know he's here for sure! The good-natured overseer was round and chubby. He smiled apologetically. Don't fret, miss. To be honest, representatives from various clans often come around to ask for cultivators. Maybe he was taken by one of them. When we do roll calls, we also sometimes discover there's been a runaway. He wouldn't have run away, Wen Qing insisted. Granny and the others are all here. My little brother wouldn't have run away on his own. Well, why don't you look around for him then? Take your time, the good-natured overseer said. Everyone we have is here. If you can't find him in this valley, then I don't know what else to tell you. Wei Wuxian suddenly spoke up. Everyone is here? The moment he spoke, the overseer's face stiffened. The good-natured overseer turned to him and replied, Yeah. All right, Wei Wuxian said. I'll grant you that the living are here, at least. So what about the rest? Wen Qing swayed on her feet. The opposite of living was naturally dead. Don't say that, sir, the good-natured overseer said hastily. Even though it's only Wen cultivators here, no one would dare take a life. As if he hadn't heard him, Wei Wuxian retrieved the flute at his waist. The captives, who had been arduously trudging along, suddenly shouted at the sight, threw off the burdens on their backs, and fled. The crowd milling around Wei Wuxian rapidly cleared, and he was left alone at the center of an empty circle. The captives hadn't recognized Wei Wuxian by his face alone. After all, there was only one outcome for Wen cultivators who encountered Wei Wuxian on the battlefield during the Sunshot campaign. Complete annihilation. Most of the Wen cultivators who did see his face quickly became fierce corpses themselves, bound under his control. It was instead the red-tasseled black wooden flute which haunted their nightmares, and the tales of the black-clad youth who controlled it. There were cries of alarm from all around. The Hell Flute! Chen Qing! Wei Wuxian raised Chen Qing to his lips. The shrill sound of the flute pierced the night sky like an arrow, slashing through the rain and echoing through the entire valley. After only one note, Wei Wuxian tucked Chen Qing away and dropped his hands. A smirk lingered on his lips as he let the rain soak his black hair and black robes. Not long after, someone asked, "What's that noise?" Shrieks of alarm suddenly sounded from the back of the crowd, and the circle began to break apart as people stumbled and hurried away. Amidst the drizzling rain, dozens of figures stood unsteadily in the spot where the crowd had once been. They wore ragged clothing. They were tall and short, men and women. Some emitted the putrid smell of rot. At the head of the group stood Wen Ning, his eyes still wide open. And there's a note that says, the Chinese saying, to die with one's eyes closed, is similar in the English meaning of to rest in peace. So he did not rest in peace, we shall say. We shall say that much. His face was as ghastly pale as candle wax. His pupils were blown huge and black, and the blood at the corner of his mouth had already congealed to a dark brown. Even though his chest did not move with any breath, it was obvious that one side of his ribcage had been violently caved in. No! Oh, fuck. I love that guy... Oh, thank you, Homotron, for your donation. That guy was like, we wouldn't kill anybody. Wei Wuxian with the I'ma find out if you killed anybody device. Homotron, thank you for your donation. Yay, I made it to the stream. I just got off work and was worried I'd miss it. Only problem is, I turned in at the most devastating part. No, my Wen Ning. The fact that they were just like, we wouldn't dare take a life. And Wei Wuxian just instantly makes all the fucking dead bodies come to life. Literally face your fucking lie. No one who saw him could possibly have thought he was still alive. But Wen Qing wouldn't give up. Trembling, she grabbed his wrist to feel for his pulse. After gripping it for a moment, she burst into tears with a loud wail. Over the past few days, she'd been frightened. She'd been terrified. She'd run so hard and for so long she'd almost gone mad. But she was still too late. She hadn't even had a chance to see her little brother breathe his last. Wen Qing sobbed as she felt around Wen Ning's ribs, as if she was trying to reconnect them, as if she had deluded herself into thinking there was a slim chance she could restore him to life. Her sweet face was contorted by weeping, rendering her ugly and unsightly. But when it came to the truly broken-hearted, there was no beauty in tears. Confronted with the dead body of her only sibling, not a single shred of her pride remained. It was too great a blow. Unable to hold on any longer, Wen Qing fainted. Wei Wuxian, standing behind her, caught her limp form without comment and let her lean against his chest. He closed his eyes. A brief moment passed before he opened them. Who killed him? His tone was temperate, as if he wasn't enraged, but only thinking aloud. The chief overseer, thinking this a fortunate development, refused to admit any fault. Wei Gongzi, please don't speak so irresponsibly. No one here would dare kill another human being so lightly. He was the one who didn't take care while working and rolled down the cliff to his death. No one here would dare kill another human being so lightly, Wei Wuxian parroted. Is that true? The overseers all swore solemnly that it was. Absolutely true. No word of a lie. Wei Wuxian flashed a small smile. I see. I get it. Then he languidly continued. It's because they're Wen dogs, and Wen dogs aren't human, so killing them doesn't count. That's what you all meant, right? The chief overseer had indeed been thinking exactly that. He paled at being seen through so quickly. Or did you think that I wouldn't be able to tell how someone died? Wei Wuxian continued. The overseers fell silent. It was finally dawning on them that things were going south, and they were beginning to think of backing away. Wei Wuxian maintained his smile. At this point, you'd better just tell the truth. Who killed him? Step forward on your own, or I'll have no choice but to kill everyone here. I'd rather kill someone by mistake than let the culprit off the hook. No fish will slip through the net if you're all dead. Yeah, he's so fucking cool. Fear seized everyone present, and chills ran down their spines. The Zheng clan of Yunmeng and the Jin clan of Lanling are on friendly terms right now, the chief overseer mumbled. Sir, you can't. Wei Wuxian shot him a look. You're very brave, he said, feigning shock. Are you threatening me? The chief overseer hastily denied the idea. No, of course not. Congratulations, you have successfully exhausted my patience, Wei Wuxian said. Since none of you will tell me, let's hear his answer. This is an incredible scene. As if he had been waiting for this moment, Wen Ning's stiffened corpse suddenly jerked, and he raised his head. The two overseers standing closest to him didn't even get the chance to scream before their throats were seized by a pair of hands as strong as iron bands. His face expressionless, Wen Ning raised the two short overseers high into the air. The crowd was pulling further and further away, and the empty circles surrounding Wei Wuxian in the clearing yawned wider. Wei Gongzi, the chief overseer cried. Have mercy! Sir, your impulsive actions will have irreversible consequences! The rain was coming down harder and harder. The drops flowed unceasingly down the contours of Wei Wuxian's cheekbones and dripped from his chin. He whirled around and placed his hand on Wen Ning's shoulder. Wen Chonglin, he shouted. As if in answer, Wen Ning let out a long, deafening roar. The ears of the onlookers throbbed with dull stabs of pain. Wei Wuxian gave his order slowly and clearly. Make everyone who did this to you suffer the exact same fate. I give you permission to repay them in kind. Wen Ning immediately bashed the two overseers in his grip against each other. Their heads burst like watermelons. Red and white exploded through the sky with a loud bang, as if celestial maidens were scattering blossoms in the air. The scene was gory beyond belief. Screams resounded across the valley. Horses whinnied and captives scampered. It was pure mayhem. Wei Wuxian picked up Wen Qing and nonchalantly carried her through the uproar like nothing was wrong. He took the reins of a horse, But just as he was about to turn around, a scrawny captive called out to him, Wei Shensheng! Wei Wuxian turned his head. What? The captive pointed in a certain direction and spoke with a quivering voice. There's a house at the end of the valley. It's where they lock people up and beat them. The ones who die are dragged outside and buried. Maybe some of the people you're looking for are there. Thank you, Wei Wuxian said. He headed in that direction, and sure enough found a makeshift shack. Still carrying Wenqing, he kicked the door open. Inside, about a dozen people sat in a corner. Each of them had been badly battered, and their faces were mottled with blue and purple. Startled by his crude kick to the door, they sprang to their feet. When they saw Wenqing in Wei Wuxian's arms, they stopped caring about their injuries and flung themselves toward him. Miss Qing! One of the captives addressed Wei Wuxian, sounding furious. You! Who are you? What have you done to the chief officer? Nothing, Wei Wuxian replied. Which of you are the cultivators serving under Wen Ning? Enough talk! Come out! The group exchanged looks of dismay, but Wei Wuxian had already left, still carrying Wenqing. They had no choice but to persevere and follow him, helping each other along. As soon as they left the shack, Wei Wuxian shouted orders to them before he could see what the chaos in the valley was about. Before they could see what the chaos in the valley was about. Everyone find a horse! Hurry! A middle-aged man began to protest. No, our Wen Ning Gongzi! He was interrupted by a severed head being hurled past him. The group looked towards it in unison, just in time to see Wen Ning slamming a headless body to the ground. Its limbs were still convulsing. He was about to disembowel the man with his bare hands when Wei Wuxian barked another order. Enough! A growl erupted from Wen Ning's throat. It seemed he was yet unsatisfied. Wei Wuxian blew a short whistle, then ordered again. Up! Wen Ning had no choice but to stand. What are you waiting around for? Wei Wuxian yelled. Get on the horses! Or are you waiting for me to find some swords for you to fly on? Someone remembered there was an elderly woman in their number and hurriedly led both her and the child over to help them mount a horse. Wei Wuxian also hopped onto a horse, still carrying the unconscious Wenqing. There were only a dozen horses to share, but many dozens of people, so they rode crowded, 2 or 3 to a horse. The old woman couldn't ride alone and had the child to hold on to as well. Seeing them struggle, Wei Wuxian extended his hand. Give him to me. But the old woman just kept shaking her head, and the child clung tightly to her neck. Although they were both almost slipping off the horse, there was an unconcealable terror in both of their eyes. Wei Wuxian swiftly reached out, picked up the child, and tucked him under his arm. The old woman was horrified. Ayuan! Ayuan! She cried. While the child named Ayuan was still very young, he already knew that he should be scared. But he didn't cry. He only vigorously chewed on his finger and snuck glimpses at Wei Wuxian. Move out! Wei Wuxian barked. With a flex of his calves, he set off first. The rest of the captives followed closely behind on horseback, and they all galloped away into the rainy night. Dude. Oh my god. Oh, that was such a freaking epic scene. I got goosebumps. I got like a little teary too. Oh. I feel like MXTX did such a good job of like capturing the feeling of everyone being so scared and it being such a scary like thing and not knowing that Wei Wuxian was going to help them, especially knowing like what he had done to the Wens before and being like, we're Wens. This guy does not like Wens. You know? Not knowing that he's like gonna save them. Oh my god, it's so scary. That's crazy. Oh my god. And so gory too. And just the reveal that they weren't lying, because they were like, yeah, we didn't kill any human beings. We would never kill any human beings. Ah. CSCL says she also did a great job showing exactly why Wei Wuxian would be so pissed. Yeah, setting up the whole sounds like the Jin clan's becoming the Wen clan type of thing, and then the fucking branding iron. Those bastards. Oh, it's so good though. Like it's just written so well. It's so riveting to read. Like, ugh. Orion's Belt says it's so annoying seeing Wei Wuxian trying to do the right thing and it being punished by their society. Yep. Yeah. And I think someone else in the chat earlier was like, no one likes that Wei Wuxian has full control over the nuke. And I'm like, it's kind of like, have you seen like the Marvel movie like Civil War and Iron Man being like, I have successfully privatized world peace. And the whole thing is like, should the government own the nuke? Or can we trust this one guy to own the nuke? Wei Wuxian being like, well, I don't want the Jin clan to have the fucking nuke because seems like they're okay with many casualties. There was one thing that was brought up here that I thought was interesting to note, is that it did say that it seemed like when Wei Wuxian was using the Yin Tiger Tally on the battlefield, that was it sometimes innocent people got mixed up in it, or it was hard to control? There was a comment about that, and Wei Wuxian didn't really acknowledge it. It was specifically about the Yin Tiger Tally. So that's kind of setting up, right? Jing Guanshan said that their cultivators were affected. But we don't know affected how. Right. And it's like, was that true? Or is he just saying that? Is he just saying you're not powerful enough to wield this power? Because Wei Wuxian doesn't confirm or deny it. I'm trying to find the line. Here, it says, rumor has it that you forged the Yin Tiger Tally with the spirit of an iron sword you found inside the cave of the Shanwu of Slaughter, Jing Guanshan said. You used the device once on the battlefield. It possessed terrible power, and even affected some of our own cultivator peers. Wei Wuxian cut him off. Get to the point. That is the point, Jing Guanshan said. That battle didn't just result in Wen clan casualties, but also casualties on our own side. I am of the opinion that the spiritual weapon in question is demonstrably difficult to control, and so for a single person to maintain sole ownership of it, I'm afraid... He hadn't finished when Wei Wuxian started laughing. Do you think that the Jin clan of Lanling should take their place? So, yeah. It sounds like the zombies started attacking the innocent people, right? They started, I mean, it's like Wei Wuxian's using the army of zombies, and then it's like the army of zombies was even starting to attack the Jin clan cultivators, right? I'm just talking about the like what happens when he uses the Yin Tiger Tally, because we know like he uses it again later, right? It possessed terrible power and even affected some of our own cultivator peers. It's like, what does he mean by that? Is he implicating that the Yin Tiger Tally affected them in the way that the zombies then attacked the Jin clan? We have to keep reading. Yeah, Xavian said, but later, doesn't he effectively not attack? Right? It's like, is this setting up the lie that Wei Wuxian does not have full control of it, even now? Kate. He might go crazy. Corpses attacked their side, but not to a massive degree. That's, I feel like, what the implication is here, right? Like... But Jing Guanshan also could just be full-on lying, yeah. Very interesting. I'll be very interested to read exactly what the Yin Tiger Tally does in the next battle to find out the truth. Or was it that the resentful energy was messing with other alive people's minds or something? Yeah, I don't think we've seen it do that yet, right? It only like affects the dead. So I could almost see him lying, being like, yeah, like your fluting was making our guys really upset, actually. And it's like, it doesn't affect living people. No, I can feel it. I can sense the Wi-Fi. Handgun Jun. Like that guy who said the TSA machine made him gay. Evilicious, yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon says, I mean, it affected Lanchiren so bad he woke up just to say, stop fluting and pass out. CSDL says, it could also be that seed of doubt of course one person can't control something that powerful, right? Yes, very interesting. Okay, let's read a little bit more. So this is part 2. A wave of sensational gossip swept across the cultivation world that very night. Come midnight, nearly 50 family heads representing clans both large and small were seated inside Touchstone Pavilion at Golden Carp Tower. The head seat was occupied by Jin Guanshan. Jin Sichuan was away, and Jin Sijin didn't have the necessary qualifications, so only Jin Guanyao stood beside the head seat with his hands at his sides. The first row consisted of family heads and renowned highly ranked cultivators, such as Ni Mingjue, Zheng Cheng, Lan Jichen, and Lam Wenji. Their expressions were solemn. The row behind of them consisted of lower ranked family heads and cultivators. Everyone looked like they were preparing to meet a great foe. Every so often, whispers could be heard. I just knew it. This was going to happen sooner or later. Let's see how this ends. Zheng Cheng was the center of everyone's attention. He sat in the front row with gloom clouding his face, and just like the rest, he was listening to Jing Guanyao speak. The man's voice was respectful and cautious, but still gentle and sincere. 4 overseers were killed during this incident. Around 50 of the surviving Wen clan members escaped. After Wei Wuxian led them to the burial mounds, he summoned hundreds of fierce corpses to patrol and barricade the bottom of the mountain. Currently, our people cannot take a single step past its boundaries. Once his report concluded, silence reigned inside Touchstone Pavilion. It was a moment before Zheng Cheng spoke. He has certainly acted out of line. I apologize to sect leader Jin on his behalf. Please do not hesitate to let me know of any way I can remedy the situation, and I will surely do my utmost to compensate. But what Jin Guanshan wanted wasn't his apology or compensation. Sect leader Zheng, he began. It goes without saying that, for your sake, the Jin clan of Lanling would normally never say another word on the subject. But not all the overseers were from the Jin clan. There were others involved, so... Zheng Zheng deeply furrowed his brow and rubbed his temple, which never stopped throbbing. He drew a soundless breath. My apologies to the sect leaders. You see, the Wen cultivators that Wei Wuxian wanted to save was named Wen Ning. He and his sister, Wen Qing, showed the 2 of us mercy during the Sunshot campaign. That is why. Showed mercy how? Ni Mingjue demanded. Wasn't the Wen clan of Qishan the culprit behind the Zheng clan of Yunmeng's annihilation? Zheng Zheng had constantly worked into the wee hours of the morning these past few years. He had been on the verge of being able to retire early today when the news had hit him like a thunderbolt. Oh my god, this was his one day where he's like, I can finally go to sleep. And this happens. His first day being able to relax in years, and then this happens. Oh my god. It's like, I'm literally picturing him like just sitting down. It's like he literally hasn't sat down in years. He finally gets in the recliner. He had been on the verge of being able to retire early today when the news had hit him like a thunderbolt, jolting him from his rest and forcing him to rush to Golden Carp Tower overnight. He was competitive by nature and now irritable from fatigue. Oh, now he's irritable from fatigue? He's normally so irritable, so now he's mega irritable. From the moment he arrived, he had seethed with annoyance that he was going to have to bow his head in apology. Now that Ni Mingjue had brought up the case of his clan's annihilation, hatred sprang up within him unbidden. That hatred was directed at everyone present, but it was also directed at Wei Wuxian. After some thought, Lan Qichen answered, I know a little about Wen Qing. Lan Qichen coming in to save the day. I knew her, guys. She wasn't a bad guy. She was okay. She's a good guy, okay? There has never been talk of her being involved in any of the massacres associated with the Sunshot campaign. But she also never stopped any of them, Ni Mingjue pointed out. How could she have done so when she was one of Wen Rohan's trusted aides? Lan Qichen asked. I like this. Lan Qichen's going up to bat to defend Zheng Cheng in this moment and defend the innocents. Like, Ni Mingjue was indifferent to such logic. She remained silent and raised no objections while the Wen clan committed atrocities. That is no different from watching from the sidelines. She can't presume to enjoy preferential treatment when the Wens were fanning the flames of disorder, then refuse to bear the bitter consequences and pay the price when they were overthrown. Lan Qichen fell silent. He knew that Ni Mingjue despised the Wen dogs the most keenly of everyone present due to the grudge held by his clan. He was also the sort of man who would never turn a blind eye to such unethical behavior. One of the family heads spoke up. Sect leader Ni is right. Besides, since Wen Qing was Wen Rohan's trusted aide, I refuse to believe she never participated. Who among the Wen dogs doesn't have blood on their hands? Maybe we just haven't found out yet. Mentions of the Wen clan's past crimes immediately ignited the crowd and sent emotions running high. Jing Guanshan was going to speak at first, but the sight of the commotion made him frown. Observing his expression, Jing Guanyao quickly raised his voice to address the crowd. Please settle down, everyone. That is not the focus of our discussion today. As he spoke, he had the servants bring around frozen sliced fruits. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, everyone gets like mega triggered because they're like, yeah, the Wens, oh fuck, I fucking hate the Wens. And then Jing Guanyao's like, everybody, fruit platter. Take a little fruit. Everybody, chill out. Frozen fruit. This is about Wei Wuxian, not the Wens. This is beyond comical. Holy shit. See, this is why Jing Guanyao is a fan favorite, you know? It's not like he's just this manipulative little guy. He's fucking hilarious. Like, that is so funny. Frozen watermelon? I made a salad with craisins. Stop. That's so funny. Oh my god. I love that it's like he raised his voice. Appetizers. As he spoke, he had the servants bring around frozen sliced fruits to draw the guests' attention. Only then did Touchstone Pavilion gradually quiet down. Jing Guanshan quickly took the chance to speak. Sect Leader Zheng, these are the affairs of your own clan. It is not my place to interfere. But at this point, I must remind you of something regarding Wei Ying. Please speak, Sect Leader Jin, Zheng Cheng said. Sect Leader Zheng, Wei Ying is both your left and right hand. You regard him highly, this we know, Jing Guanshan began. But it's difficult to say whether he respects you, the family head. At least, I've been a family head for many years, and never have I seen a subordinate so arrogant about his achievements, or so insolent. Have you not heard what they're saying? That the Zheng clan of Yunmeng's achievements during the Battle of the Sunshot campaign were all thanks to Wei Wuxian alone. Absolutely absurd. Okay, so now he's trying to manipulate Zheng Cheng here. Zheng Cheng already looked incredibly upset to hear this, but Jing Guanshan shook his head and continued. He had the audacity to utterly humiliate you at a grand event like the flower viewing banquet, leaving as he willed. Yesterday, he was even more insolent behind your back, even daring to utter the words, I couldn't care less for Zheng Wanyin, the family head. Everyone at the present time heard. What? Okay, pause. I'm putting the fucking bookmark in here. That's hilarious. The fact that he was like, yup, and he even said he hated you. Like, just imagine, master manipulator, Jing Guanyao, who has the biggest plan in the world. He's handing out sliced fruits because he knows how to manipulate. He hears his fucking father say the worst lie that no one's gonna believe just to try and manipulate Zheng Cheng. Imagine how disappointed Jing Guanyao would be. He's like, is this guy really my fucking father? He doesn't have a single good manipulative bone in his body. He's like, that was so ass, Dad. Come on. Like, Jing Guanshan really failing at lying in front of Jing Guanyao. Literally, Jing Guanyao being like, Dad, you are embarrassing me. This is awful. Oh my god. That's so funny. It's just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Oh god. Also, fuck Jing Guanshan. Like, we hate Jing Guanshan already, but like, just to try and cause Zheng Cheng to go against Wei Wuxian like that. Yep, and he said you were ugly too. Yep. He said, I couldn't care less for Zheng Wanyin, the family head. Everyone present at the time heard. That is untrue. A cold voice suddenly intercepted. Jing Guanshan, deeply engrossed in the act of fabricating this tale, was momentarily stumped by the interruption. Like the rest of the guests present, he turned toward the one who spoke. It was Lan Wangji, who sat with calm and proper poise in his seat. Never have I heard Wei Ying say such a thing, he stated, nor have I ever heard him express any disrespect towards sect leader Zheng. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Lan Wangji. Like, in this moment, Lan Zhichan and Lan Wangji really, really are helping out Zheng Cheng here. Future brother-in-law. Lan Wangji spoke very rarely when he attended events such as these. Even during debates at symposiums, he would only respond when others directed questions and challenges at him. He was succinct and used few words, cutting right to the point and slicing others' meandering, verbose arguments to shreds. Okay, I think Lan Wangji needs to join the little debate club. We got Jing Guanyao in there, we got Hua Cheng, and then we got Lan Wangji. I want to see that debate club. Beyond that, he almost never took the initiative to speak, so Jing Guanshan was initially more surprised than upset by the interruption. Ultimately, however, he had just been publicly called out for falsifying and exaggerating the truth, and it left him feeling awkward. Thankfully, with Jing Guanyao at the ready to come to his rescue, the discomfort didn't last long. Oh really? Jing Guanyao said, sounding surprised. Well, now, Wei Gongsu stormed Golden Carp Tower in such a fury that day and said so many things, every word more shocking than the next. He might have said something similar, but I can't remember the details anymore. Oh, come on, Jiggy. Oh, Jiggy. Oh, no. It's like Lan Wangji is gonna fucking remember that. Lan Wangji is gonna remember you did not take the side of Wei Wuxian. Yeah, you had to take the side of your dad, but he will remember that. And he will never protect you ever again. Lan Wangji, I can. I remember everything Wei Ying says. Yeah, exactly. Jing Guanyao, oh, God. Oh, who knows what he said? In truth, his memory was just as good as Lan Wangji's own, if not better. Ni Mingjue frowned slightly, immediately able to tell that he was only pretending to be confused. Ni Mingjue's like, I know this bitch has a fucking photographic memory, and he's pretending to not remember. This bitch has a scary memory, and if he's pretending to not remember something, you should be scared. That's actually what's scary. Jing Guanshan, however, used the excuse he had been provided. That's right. Either way, his attitude has always been arrogant and insolent. One of the family heads chimed in. I've been waiting to say this for a long time now. While Wei Wuxian contributed to the Sunsha campaign, contributed as if he didn't end it, many others deserved more credit than him, but you don't see any of them acting like they're so great. Not to be blunt, but he's the son of a servant. How can someone with that kind of background act with such presumption? Oh, fuck. The mention of son of a servant naturally made some guests think of the son of a prostitute who stood among them in the hall. Jing Guanyao no doubt noticed the unkind looks, but his perfect smile did not falter even once. This is a perfect example of, like, you know when some, like, gay people act, like, homophobic or think that it's, like, cool to be, like, ultra conservative. It's like, no, I'm one of the cool gays. And so, like, Jing Guanyao, I know he's got a self-persevere king. He's got his long-time goals, but him, like, aligning himself with the Jin clan, which does not fucking respect sons of prostitutes, right? And defending them. It's like, exactly. There will come a time where they will come for you too. Like, the enemy is not your friend. You can act like you're with them and you're in the cool guy group, but you will be the first to go when the time comes. God, fucking Jing Guanyao. It is also sad because earlier his lips were quivering when Wei Wuxian was interrupting the banquet, probably because he didn't have a chair for him. But that was like him losing composure. But you notice that he did not lose his composure at all at the son of a prostitute thing. Like, he is so practiced in hearing that insult. He's heard it so much it does not affect him physically. Like, he can conceal his emotions to that because he's heard it so many times, which is so fucked up. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a perfect example of, like, if it would make the most sense if Jing Guanyao joined the Lan clan, right? Like, if he joined the clan that went out of their way to accept him. Remember in the flashback, Lan Qichen went out of his way to touch him, to accept his gifts, you know? Like, not that you can just join the clan, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying, though? But, yeah. The slutty little hand touch at the beginning of The Untamed should have been the end of it, right? CSCL, your person, I didn't offend you. That's not what you meant, right? If only Jing Guanyao let go of his need showing his worth to a man who doesn't care for him, he would have 2 boyfriends. Right? Oh, but he appealed to his dad, who's not a good guy. Like, oh. No, personally offended for Wei Wuxian. Yeah, right. Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, this is just so embarrassing. Everything is so embarrassing. Yeah, so, and this is a perfect example of everybody wanting to jump in on the scapegoat. Everyone's like, yeah, and I never liked him either. So, yes, the mention of a son of a servant naturally made some guests think of the son of a prostitute who stood among them in the hall. Jing Guanyao had no doubt noticed the unkind looks, but his perfect smile did not falter, even once. The crowd began to follow the flow of the conversation, expressing their displeasure. Sect leader Jin approached Wei Ying with good intentions when he asked him to hand over the Yin Tiger Tally. He did it out of fear that he might not be able to control it, and that he might cause a terrible disaster. And yet Wei Ying measured the stature of a great man with the yardstick of a wretch. Does he think everyone covets that spiritual weapon of his? What a laugh. Who doesn't have a great treasure or two in their family? Right from the start, I always thought his cultivating the demonic path would end in trouble. You see, the urge to kill is already starting to take hold, indiscriminately killing our own people for the sake of some Wen dogs. Just then, a voice cautiously cut in. I don't think it was indiscriminate. Lan Wangji seemed to have entered a meditative state of emptiness where nothing entered his ears. But when he heard this, he looked up and gazed in the direction from which the voice had come. The one who had spoken was a beautiful young woman standing beside a family head. Her dissenting opinion was immediately attacked by nearby cultivators. What are you implying? The reaction seemed to scare the young woman, who replied with even greater caution. I'm not implying anything. There's no need to get so excited. I just didn't think indiscriminate was the right word. I love how Lan Wangji is like, la 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 la, and then someone defends Wei Ying, and he's like, oh. What do you mean? Another person spat, his spittle spraying. Ever since the Sunshot campaign, Wei Wuxian has developed a habit of killing indiscriminately. Can you deny that? The young woman tried her hardest to argue back. The Sunshot campaign was a war. Doesn't everyone kill indiscriminately on the battlefield? Judge the facts on their face. I really don't think what he did can be considered killing indiscriminately. There was a reason for it, after all. If the overseers abused the captives and murdered Wen Ning, then he didn't kill indiscriminately. He was taking revenge on their behalf. You're hilarious, someone exclaimed furiously. Are you saying he was right to kill our people? Are you going to praise this as an act of justice too? Another snorted contemptuously. And who knows if the overseers even did such a thing? It's not like anyone witnessed it. Yeah, all the surviving overseers swore they never abused the captors and that Wen Ning accidentally fell off the cliff to his death. They were even generous enough to collect his body and bury him. And this is their reward? How disheartening. The other overseers were afraid of being held responsible, so of course they were adamant that Wen Ning fell by accident, the young woman countered. Enough of your quibbling, one of the men sneered. We're not interested in listening to someone with an ulterior motive. The girl flushed hard and raised her voice. What do you mean by that? You know perfectly well what I mean, as does everyone else. You're dead set on defending him just because he flirted with you at the Xuanwu of Slaughter's cave way back when, and even now you're still twisting logic for him, confusing right and wrong. Huh. Women will be women. What? It's funny because everyone should be saying this to Lan Wangji. Like, you're just defending him because you're gay. The romantic tale of Wei Wuxian saving a damsel in distress while trapped in the depths of the Xuanwu of Slaughter's cave had been a popular story for some time now. At the mention of it, it finally dawned on many of the guests that this young woman was that very Mian Mian. We love Mian Mian. Immediately, someone grumbled. I was gonna say, no wonder she's so keen on speaking up for Wei Wuxian. Mian Mian was furious. How was I twisting logic or confusing right and wrong? I'm simply stating the existing facts. What's that got to do with me being a woman? Are you attacking me on other fronts just because you can't win against my argument? Tisk, 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 just look at you, acting as if you're so impartial, someone mocked her. How can you consider the facts when your heart is so biased? Don't waste your breath on her. I can't believe a person like that belongs to my sect, let alone manage to worm her way into a meeting at the Touchstone Pavilion. Just standing next to her embarrasses me. Oh my god. I think we have to blow up the world. Many of the ones attacking her were her peers with her own sect, standing beside her as part of the same group. CSCL, thank you for your donation. To wash out having to say woman will be woman from your mouth, thank you for the efforts. Yeah, fuck. That was awful. Thank you for donating. Fuck these guys, man. Mian Mian was so angry that her eyes turned red and began to brim with tears. Moments later, she exclaimed loudly, "Fine! Your voices are louder than mine. Fine. You're the ones in the right." Lan Wangji and Mian Mian need to go make their own clan with Blackjack and Wei Ying. With teeth gritted, she tore off her clan uniform. Oh, hell yeah. And slapped it down on the table. The resulting bang was so loud that it turned the heads of the leaders and luminaries in the first few rows who hadn't been paying attention. The ones near her were stunned by the action, which meant she was withdrawing from her clan. Mian Mian turned and left without another word. She had already been gone for a while before someone loudly yelled after her, "Don't even think about putting that thing back on if you got the guts to take it off!" Who does she think she is? Withdraw then, for all we care. What's she getting into such a snit over? Snit. Scattered noises of agreement began to surface. Women will be women. Say a few words to them and they'll fall apart. She'll come crawling back after a few days. Fuck. Orion's Belt, thank you for donating. Mian Mian is the smartest character in the whole book for this. Yes! Like, listen, Lan Ji-chan stood up for Zheng Cheng, Lan Wangji stood up for Wei Wuxian, and Mian Mian is standing up for Wei Wuxian even for a whole other reason. Like, we love it. That's for sure. After all, it was just recently that she was finally promoted from a servant to a sect disciple. Huh. Disregarding the hubbub around him, Lan Wangji also rose to his feet and left. Yeah! We need just like a shot of Mian Mian and Lan Wangji drinking together, just like, man. Lan Qichen made inquiries to clarify what the minor disturbance had been about, and hearing the crowd's comments going in an increasingly unsavory direction, he spoke up in a grim tone. Everyone, she has already left. Cease your discussion now. Thus spoke Zebujun, and so the others naturally had to give him face. The topic was dropped, and disjointed chatter resumed inside Touchstone Pavilion, rebuking both Wen dogs and Wei Wuxian. Fervent anger surged through the room. Comments were bitten out carelessly through gritted teeth, and no dissenting voices would be heard. Taking advantage of the mood, Jing Wenquan turned to Zheng Cheng. He's planned on going to the burial mounds for a long time now, hasn't he? After all, with his abilities, establishing his own sect would be a simple matter. He's using this chance to break from the Zheng clan. He plans to fly away, free as a bird. You rebuilt the Zheng clan of Yunmeng with such painstaking effort. He's well aware of his involvement in many controversies, but he doesn't restrain himself and constantly causes you trouble. You've never been a factor in his considerations. He gave Zheng Cheng his fucking heart! Holy shit! That's not the case, Zheng Cheng replied with forced calm. Wei Wuxian has always been like this, ever since he was young. Even my father couldn't do anything about him. Could Feng Mianxiang really do nothing about him? Jing Guanshan chuckled dryly. Feng Mianxiang did always favor him so. The corners of Jiang Cheng's lips twitched at the word favor. Sect leader Jiang, you are not your father, Jing Guanshan continued. It's only been a few years since the re-establishment of the Zheng clan of Yunmeng. Now is the time for you to assert your might. But he doesn't know how to restrain himself or make himself inconspicuous. What will your new sect disciples think when they see him? Should they take him as an example and disregard you as well? He bombarded Jiang Cheng with one allegation after another, striking the iron while it was hot. No need to say any more, Sect Leader Jin, Jiang Cheng replied, slowly. I will make a trip to the burial mounds and resolve this matter. While he was inwardly pleased, Jing Guanshan replied with grave sincerity. That is the right thing to do. Sect Leader Jiang, there are certain things and certain people that should not be tolerated. When the assembly concluded, all the clan leaders felt they had gained new and exciting topics of conversation. Their steps were as heated as their discussion, and their passionate fury was undiminished. Oh! Jiang Cheng, that's some really triggering topics for Jiang Cheng, honestly. Like, that's really tough. And the fact that he didn't, start shit-talking Wei Wuxian shows a lot as well, Like, that's pretty tough. The three Zun gathered behind the sea of sparks amidst snow. You have worked hard, Sandy, Lan Qichen said. Jing Guanyao smiled in response. Not at all. Sect Leader Zheng's table was the hardest worker of all of us, bearing up admirably under the crushing force of his grip. It seems he was particularly furious today. Ni Mingjue walked over to join the two of them where they stood. Speaking with such eloquence certainly makes for hard work. Lan Qichen smiled at this, but made no comment. Jing Guanyao, knowing Ni Mingjue would seize every chance to educate him on how to be an upstanding man, was resigned. He quickly changed the subject. So is Ni Mingjue there being like, yeah, you didn't do anything, but speak eloquently and lie. You shouldn't lie. Yeah, what do you guys think when Ni Mingjue says that? The three Zun gathered behind the sea of sparks amid snow. You have worked hard, Sandy, Lan Qichen said, like to Jing Guanyao. Jing Guanyao smiled in response. Not at all. Sect Leader Zheng's table was the hardest worker of us all. So is he now saying, like, oh, I'm actually on Sect Leader Zheng's side, right? Bearing up admirably under the crushing force of his grip. It seems he was particularly furious today. Like, is he saying Jing Guanshan was particularly furious today, or Jiang Cheng was particularly furious today? Oh, wait, his table! Literally his table! Oh my god, I was reading too deeply into that. Sect Leader Zheng's table was the hardest worker of us all, bearing up admirably under the crushing force of his grip. I was like thinking of a metaphorically. He's making a joke about him if he was squeezing the table so hard. It seems he was particularly furious today. Ni Mingjue walked over to join the two of them where they stood. Speaking with such eloquence certainly makes for hard work. Okay, so then what does Ni Mingjue's comment there mean? Orion's Belt says, I think Ni Mingjoy is calling out Jing Guanyao for being a manipulator. Right, because he took notice that Jing Guanyao was like, oh yes, many people, Wei Wuxian may have said that, but he said so many things. Right, lying must take a lot of work there. Okay, right. Lan Jingchen smiled at this but made no comment. Jing Guanyao, knowing Ni Mingjoy would seize every chance to educate him on how to be an upstanding man, right, upstanding, not lying, was resigned. He quickly changed the subject. Oh, Arga, where's Wanji? Okay, I think that's a good plot to end. I gotta go home. I gotta go home, guys. Gotta go home. So, I gotta go have some dinner with my family. Have some stew. This was, you know, despite it being, like, a fucked up, like, sad story, it's really fun to read it with everybody. So, thanks everybody in the chat for being so much fun today. Thank you to anybody tuning and lurking. I appreciate you as well. Reminder to like the stream if you haven't. Helps out my channel. And subscribe if you haven't. And, I think I can stream tomorrow night as well. So, we could keep reading. Yeah. Alright, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. And I love hearing all your thoughts. I love just chatting with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Homotron, thank you for your donation. Have a nice night, Hector. Thank you, you too, Homotron. Okay, good night.